HD. You're watching KGUN-9 on your side. News at 9.
Hello and thanks for watching Tonight at 9. I'm Simone Del Rosario. Americans on edge tonight after the Twitter account for U.S. Central Command was hacked by people claiming to be a part of ISIS. Beginning shortly after noon, a series of tweets appeared with what seemed to be warnings from ISIS. The tweets also included information revealing contact information for members of the military. Anxiety is already high with the news that suspected Paris terrorist Hayat Boumediene may have fled to Syria. Here you see her wearing a white shawl, getting ready to board a plane. Female terrorists are not something we've seen a lot of in the past, but they are a trend that could be gaining popularity, even right here in the U.S. Valerie Cavazos has been studying the possibilities, and this is what she found.
The latest ISIS target, law enforcement on American soil, police officers, sheriff's deputies, and federal agents, all on heightened alert.
That we need to be more vigilant. We need to be on alert of the possibilities of it happening here.
ISIS threats aren't new. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force has been sharing information with local law enforcement for years. And after this recent attack in France,
there's been a joint advisory put out between Department of Homeland Security and the FBI to sort of push out to our partners so they could see what it is to look out for, what we're concerned about, and what we're doing about it.
What's relatively new is more women being lured into terrorist networks, hoping to knock federal agents off their trail.
Attract people that wouldn't fit our model of who we're looking for, so that we would be looking one place and then they can maybe recruit them and we would miss it.
But the FBI is getting better at collecting and analyzing information here and abroad, then sending it back out with improvements. And the FBI hopes the public will also be vigilant to watch out for
off behaviors by an individual, someone who's maybe cut off ties with their family, someone that's making radical statements in the social media or verbally, someone that's acting to go out and buy things they shouldn't be buying, like ammonium nitrate fertilizer, when they have no business doing it. We want a phone call to the FBI.
Valerie Cavazos, KGUN-9 on your side.
He targeted little girls in Tucson stores, then tried to kidnap them. But now this repeat sex offender is no longer a threat. A judge sentenced 53-year-old William Shermer to 71 years in prison. Police arrested Shermer, a homeless registered sex offender, back in May of 2013. Once again, 9 on your side's Valerie Cavazos has the story.
The judge read the counts.
That the defendant is guilty of count 1, kidnapping.
Aggravated assault. That
the defendant is guilty of count 5, attempted sexual abuse of a minor under 15.
7 counts in all, 3 victims, all little girls. His last victim targeted in May of 2013.
On a Sunday afternoon, an employee called 911 from this Dollar Tree near First and Grant, saying a man approached a little girl, tickled her, and then tried to snatch her.
Police say the girl grabbed a shelf, kicked, and screamed. Shermer released her and ran. And before that, there were others at different stores, different girls, one as young as 4. Shermer asked one woman's daughter, "Do you like to be tickled?"
I started running towards her and said, get your hands off my child."
Shermer was arrested and only spent 30 days in jail. With 3 prior convictions, one from Minnesota, the prosecuting attorney said it's time for this repeat sex offender to be put away for a very long time. The judge gave Shermer the maximum terms.
The defendant be sentenced to the maximum term of 35 years.
Maximum terms for each count. Valerie Cavazos, KGUN-9 on your side.
In his first State of the State address as Arizona's governor, Doug Ducey tackled budget and education issues head on. He also announced a state government hiring freeze. This does not apply to vital jobs like public safety or child safety. Ducey is pushing to change the law to allow unused school buildings to be used by schools that have long waiting lists. Also, his Classrooms First initiative is part of a plan to shift state spending from support to actual teaching in classrooms.
Let's make open enrollment and parental choice a reality and not just a talking point. Let's open the doors and make those empty seats available to our best public schools.
Arizona is preparing to face $1 billion shortfall this July. Governor Ducey says the state will cut back on bureaucracy and not take on any new expenses. He'll deliver his State of the State address in Tucson tomorrow. Now, Wisconsin lawmaker Paul Ryan, who was Mitt Romney's running mate in the 2012 election, has decided not to run for president in 2016. In a statement, the 9-term congressman said, "Our work at the House Ways and Means Committee over the next few years will be crucial to moving America forward, and my job as chairman deserves undivided attention." Indonesian officials say AirAsia Flight 8501 may have exploded after crashing into the Java Sea. This analysis came as searchers found the plane's flight data and voice recorders. CNN's David Moko has the details.
A major breakthrough here in Indonesia, the recovery of the flight data recorder from Flight 8501. That black box has now arrived in Jakarta and is now undergoing analysis. We're told by Indonesia's transport safety chief it should take 2 or 3 days to get the data off the box. It's in relatively good condition, we're told, which means that getting the data from it is akin to plugging a USB stick into a computer. Takes a little bit more time. The analysis of figuring out exactly what happened in the final moments of that flight, though, will take a little bit more time. Out in the Java Sea, the search for the other black box, the cockpit voice recorder, continuing. Underwater currents, though, proving difficult for divers. In fact, they had to be pulled out of the water. The cockpit voice recorder, we're told, they know exactly where it is. It is just a matter of time before officials are able to get to it. We're hearing that they found parts of wings, engines, and other debris. What officials are not saying, though, is that they have found the fuselage from Flight 8501. It's believed that's where the bodies, more than 100 still missing, of the passengers and crew remain. Family members making a special plea to authorities saying, yes, we recognize how critical it was to find this black box, but please do not forget about us. The search and rescue chief making a special trip, he says, Tuesday to Surabaya to meet with those families and hear their concerns. David Molko, CNN, Jakarta, Indonesia.
Now, your first warning weather with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen.
Well, we still have a few clouds lingering, but certainly no rain. That has lifted off to the northeast pretty quickly now. But our temperatures in the 40s across Oracle, Wilcox, and Sierra Vista. Tucson, though, still warm, relatively speaking, in the upper 50s now, with mostly cloudy skies being reported at Tucson's airport. Wind is from the west-southwest at 3 miles per hour. So we do have another storm system that will bring us some more rain, even snow. So will our soccer players have to worry about that this weekend? I'll let you know coming up.
Hopefully not the snow, Aaron. Well, Governor Ducey's campaign slogan was opportunity for all. Job opportunities prompted about 1,900 job seekers to pour into a job fair at the Hotel Tucson City Center today. A long list of local companies were in help wanted mode, ranging from Raytheon to Jim Click Automotive to Ajero. KGUN-9 on your sides, Craig Smith was there as hopeful job seekers looked for a better life.
The chance to be employed again or to get a better job had job seekers spilling out the doors at Jobvertising.com's job fair. James Vilches brought his years of military experience and a brand new mechanical engineering degree to Raytheon's table.
I want to be the guy that raises his hand and has that one idea that helps the project along. And that's, from what I've seen, every project needs that.
Job fair organizer Roberto Moreno says there are more jobs out there, but the market is still tight enough to allow employers to be pretty particular about who they hire.
They have the luxury now where if they have 4 candidates that have the same qualifications, they may be looking at their background more, or they may be looking at how they're interacting with the first impression.
There are job hunters who believe if you are online, that's the only place you really need to be. But job fairs like this show there's still a lot of value in face-to-face contact. Kaylin Wolf says she's an experienced sales professional who's a little disappointed with how many jobs are entry-level. So she's trying to persuade recruiters she's good for a job they may not even be recruiting for.
So honestly, what I'm doing is I'm asking staffing companies if they're looking for staffing people. I'm asking if they're looking for recruiting people. So I'm looking a little outside the box, not necessarily what they're offering here.
Job fair organizers say companies may still be recruiting even though the fair has ended. You'll find a link to those employers on KGUN9.com. Craig Smith, KGUN9 on your side.
Well, some Tucson Unified School District students are playing host to kids from Korea for the next few weeks. The Korean students are visiting as part of TUSD's Tucson Korea Ambassador Program. The school district hopes students benefit from having an experience like this. And it's the same for Korean students. Many of them are coming from a small, isolated island off South Korea's mainland. So a trip like this is a rare opportunity.
Compared to students in the mainland, a lot of the students from time to time are relatively deprived of decent educational opportunities. So it's good that we have some kind of a program that will keep our students motivated and dream big.
Tucson students and their Korean visitors will be going on a number of trips the next few weeks as well to show them what Arizona has to offer. Well, if you bought a Powerball ticket at the Fry's on Ina and Thornydale, you may be Arizona's newest millionaire. The Arizona Lottery tells 9 on your side someone matched all 5 numbers drawn, but not the Powerball. So here are the numbers: 2, 9, 19, 28, and 29. The manager says no one has come forward yet. This ticket is good for $1 million, but the $176 million grand prize rolls over to Wednesday. Well, the stars were all out last night at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. If you missed it, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler were in fine form at the 72nd Golden Globes. So we'll take a look back and show you everything you missed. Plus, a new study that proves we don't function well without our phones. The interesting findings next on 9 on your side at 9. And don't forget, you ask, we investigate. If you have something you want us to investigate that may impact the community, call 290-7726 or email us at news@kgun9.com. Well, the 72nd Golden Globes came with a bit of irreverence and a lot of humor. Reporter Stephanie Elam has a recap of last night's award ceremony.
I have the nails.
Yeah, get after it. You got the Globes, too.
The Oscars may be Hollywood's biggest night, but the irreverent Golden Globes are the town's biggest party. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, hosting for the third and final time, skewered everyone from Bill Cosby
I got the pills in the bathroom, but I put them in the people.
to George Clooney, who was there with his very accomplished wife, Amal Alamuddin.
Amal is a human rights lawyer who worked on the Enron case, was an advisor to Kofi Annan regarding Syria, and was selected for a 3-person UN commission investigating rules of war violations in the Gaza Strip. So tonight, her husband is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award.
The newly married Lifetime Achievement honoree accepted the prestigious award, acknowledging his bride.
Amal, whatever alchemy it is that brought us together, I couldn't be more proud to be your husband.
Real-world events also taking main stage.
Je suis Charlie.
Je suis Charlie.
The Golden Globes saluted free speech, led by the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
Together, we will stand united against anyone who would repress free speech, anywhere from North Korea to Paris.
There were, of course, awards. The coming-of-age film Boyhood won 3 trophies: Best Director, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Drama. In the comedy musical categories, the Grand Budapest Hotel won Best Picture, while the transgender-themed Transparent took Best TV Series and Best Actor for Jeffrey Tambor, who dedicated his award to the transgender community.
Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for your patience. And thank you for letting us be a part of the change.
Surprise presenter Prince drew big cheers before announcing Best Song went to Common and John Legend for Glory from the civil rights drama Selma.
I am the unarmed black kid who maybe needed a hand but instead was given a bullet. I am the 2 fallen police officers murdered in the line of duty. Selma has awakened my humanity.
Stephanie Elam, CNN, Hollywood.
Well, do you ever get anxious when your phone isn't close by? A new study suggests your smartphone could be crippling you. University of Missouri researchers found that iPhone users did better at puzzle solving when they had their phones with them. When they were separated, participants experienced an elevated heart rate and anxiety. In conclusion, we are a bit obsessed with our iPhones, which means without them, we are just not the same. Now, January is a great time to start fresh with some new financial habits. Karen Kaifa has the tips for tackling that holiday debt.
January can bring some cold, hard truth for consumers as December's holiday merriment translates into a mountain of bills. The first step toward tackling holiday debt is making a budget, charting what income is coming in and which expenses have to be paid out, and how much is left to put toward debt. To make real progress on the existing debt, you're going to need to pay more than the minimum balance each month. Start with the most expensive debt first. That's not necessarily the card with the biggest balance. Look at which credit card has the highest interest rate and start there. Also consider balance transfer offers, moving debt from a high interest card to a zero interest card, but only if you can pay off a balance before the introductory offer expires and interest rates jump. In the meantime, try not to add any more debt to your load. Make some sacrifices for a few months until it's under control. Skip that morning coffee or those dinners out and bring your own lunch to the office. Maybe even consider selling unwanted holiday gift cards to bring in some extra cash. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Well, the results are in from the annual Stuff the Bus event we held on Friday for the Food Bank of Southern Arizona. Your generous donations helped us here at KGUN-9, along with HSL Properties, provide nearly 13,000 pounds of food for our neighbors in need. That's equal to almost 11,000 meals for Southern Arizona families.
Yeah, it was a really great event. Lots of people turned out. There was even one gentleman, and I mention this every newscast, who came all the way up from Tombstone just to bring us a monetary donation. Brought his little dog, too. So cute. Yeah.
Nice to have some visitors. So what are we visiting from the Weather Center?
Well, our temperatures are going to be staying pretty status quo, pretty darn close to normal, like that 67-degree high we had in Tucson today. But we do have another opportunity for some rain and even snow. I'll let you know how low the snow will go coming up.
KGUN-9 on your side first warning weather with Chief Meteorologist Aaron Christensen.
Another look at those clouds and the little bit of rain. We're not seeing any rain any longer, but we did have several hundredths of an inch, few tenths of an inch in some places. Green Valley, Sahuarita really picked up the most. So the bulk of that rain was staying south of Tucson today. We had about 16 hundredths of an inch for Sahuarita and about 24 hundredths of an inch for Green Valley. So not too bad there, but we're already tracking our next round of valley rain and mountain snow. So National Weather Service has already issued a winter weather advisory. Now it's just for the areas you see highlighted in the white here across northern Graham and northern Greenlee counties. So this is primarily across the White Mountains. Above, say, 6,500 feet, we could see several inches of brand new snow. Can't rule out the possibility of maybe an inch or two of snow across the Catalinas. Again, I wouldn't expect to see any snow lower than about 6,500 feet, though. So that does not mean that we're going to be seeing snow. That means we will not be seeing snow in the Tucson area. So don't have to worry about that, you soccer players. You had to worry about that a couple years ago, but that won't be the case this year. This next storm system that will bring us that rain and snow right about there. It will drop its way into northern Arizona, but we're not really seeing the potential for widespread heavy rain dropping into the southern part of the state. You can see where this purple line here, that indicates that jet stream, strongest winds of the atmosphere, and it will just sort of cradle that area of low pressure, the cold air, that moisture, that rain, and that high elevation snow. So you can see the snow being forecast to stay, again, mainly north of the Tucson area. But if you're headed up to the White Mountains, keep that in mind. You could be driving through some snow. Mostly cloudy skies overnight. 46 for Tucson. We're talking 41 in Oracle, upper 30s Wilcox, 40 Sierra Vista, 39 for Nogales, and temperatures dropping to the upper 30s near Bisbee as well as Douglas overnight. Tucson will rebound to 66. That's just about 1 degree off from our average, so pretty close to where we should be from a temperature perspective. And then we do add in that 20% chance for rain late tomorrow into early morning hours on Wednesday. 66 for that high in both Tucson as well as Marana, about 59 for Wilcox, 64 Douglas, staying in the upper 50s in Safford as well, but 63 for Oro Valley, 66 for Green Valley. So here's that 7-day now after that slim chance for valley rain and mountain snow tomorrow into Wednesday morning. We have clear skies moving in Wednesday and Thursday, temperatures staying in the low to mid 60s, and then warming to the upper 60s for your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In fact, could even make it to 70 degrees. And I know a lot of the folks who are coming to town for the Tucson Association of Realtors soccer shootout will be very excited about that.
A lot of sunshine for those soccer players.
Lots of sunshine and pretty nice temps to go with it, too. They're not always that fortunate. It's just one of those events, kind of like the rodeo, kind of like our match play. Sometimes we've got snow, sometimes it's almost 80 degrees. So.
And people come all the way out here and they sing Tucson sun, and then it'll pour on the rodeo.
Right, they're stacking up on sunscreen, and then sometimes they have to worry about snow this time of year, at least.
Well, no change there because we are going to have sun, but up next, changes to the world-famous Cadbury egg recipe. We'll tell you what they're doing different for the first time in the candy's history.
These mini eggs with their sugar shell and milk chocolate inside.
Well, the commercial for Cadbury eggs hasn't changed much in the last 33 years, but its recipe has. Kraft Foods bought Cadbury in 2010, and now they are ditching the famous dairy milk chocolate egg for a standard cocoa mixed chocolate. The company will also reduce their 6-pack to a 5-pack, but charge the same price.
Wonder if you'll be able to tell the difference.
I don't know that you will.
I don't know. 66 tomorrow, 20% chance for rain, so not a bad idea to have that umbrella handy, especially late Tuesday into Wednesday morning.
All right, well, thanks so much. We'll see you guys at 10.